The reason you struggle with loneliness, isolation, and connectedness is because you have a dumb way of thinking. And that's nothing you should take offense to. Normally, I would put it like you have a detrimental way of thinking or you're suffering from cognitive distortion. This is because all of us have these dumb ways of thinking, these detrimental frames. So for you, you were given those detrimental frames of no fault of your own. So the dumb thoughts that we have, we got them a lot of times from childhood, the people who were raising you, from media, from culture, right? So you're carrying these detrimental frames, such as I am nothing alone, blood is thicker than water, family is everything, this family is all you have, and ideas like this, like we are wired for connection. These are very popular concepts, and you up to right now may still believe that. As you're watching this video, you could be thinking, yes, I believe that, but those are detrimental frames. Or what I'm saying is a dumb way of thinking, meaning that you've never taken the time to really meditate on those things, analyze them scientifically to make sure that what you're believing in is really beneficial to you and accurate. And so what I'm opening up for you now is to look at this from another angle so that you can stop feeling so lonely, so isolated, and so disconnected. The concept of loneliness is really a fear that you feel, right? It's a pain that you feel inside of you that's either anxiety, fear-based, or painful, hurt, sad-based, right? And that's loneliness. And we're feeling the pain, right? And we feel the pain because we're perceiving that there's something wrong with our current state. And that's what loneliness is. So whatever your current state is, you feel lonely in it because you perceive that there's something wrong with your current state. You're not content with it. For instance, you can feel lonely when there's no people around, but that's not actually what loneliness is. It's not having no people around, because you can feel lonely when you have a person around. Like you could feel lonely in a marriage, right? You can feel lonely when you're out with friends, right? And just not enjoying yourself. You can feel like, hey, I just don't relate to these people. You can feel lonely when you're around your family and feeling like you're not relating to them. You can feel lonely in a variety of, you can have children who love you and are always there for you, but you can still feel lonely. Why? Because loneliness is not solved by having people around. That's one of the stupid thoughts. It's cognitive distortion. Loneliness is a way of viewing your situation. And it's you viewing it as being bad, as being wrong, and so you feel punished by just being as you are. That's where loneliness comes from. So you can walk in your house, and let's say no one's there. When you look around, see no one there, and then have a subconscious perception of it, such as, I failed to secure a mate, nobody wants me, this is evidence that I'm not lovable. Oh no, when will I ever find someone? Oh, I've been working so long to find someone. These types of thoughts are going to make you feel lonely. But you can walk in the same house on the same day, on the same night, even in that very moment, you can catch yourself and stop yourself and change the way you think to, I'm glad I've accomplished total independence. All this is mine. Wow, I can't wait to make use of that beautiful television that can watch Netflix and all this food in the refrigerator, and I can eat this and I can make this. I have a lot to work on. If you start thinking about all the reasons why you're not ready to be in a close relationship and how much you enjoy your privacy and your freedom and your autonomy, all of a sudden you get into that mindset. The moment you think like that, you do not feel lonely. You will not feel lonely in that moment when you start thinking like that. The pain of loneliness will be gone. Yet a lot of people say, I'm so isolated. I'm so isolated. And this is a symptom of CPTSD, where you feel alienated from everyone else. You feel like you're damaged goods, and you say, I isolate. And this is because you have a complicated relationship with connections and friendships, because they scare you. And so you back away from them sometimes too much and sabotage them. But you need connection. You really connection. You feel that yearning for it. So to fix this, you got to fix both sides of the issue. First of all, connection. You heard that term like we're wired for connection. That is false information. It's misinformation. It's propaganda. We are not wired for only one thing. That's like saying we're wired to exercise. Like, yeah, exercise is good. We do need it, but we're not wired for only exercise. We also have the ability to relax and do other things besides just exercise. It's not all there is to life. And likewise, connection is not all there is to life. It's not all about, you just got to have people, you got to be with people. That's what you're made for. Moreover, and this is most important with connection is an illusion. It is just a perception of the mind. It is your perception of your relationship or an interaction you're having with another individual that you are vibing, which is a nebulous concept that's not really rooted in anything scientific. There's nothing happening in the quantum realm, and there's no magnetic forces or magical pulls that are happening and bonding between you and the other person when you're sitting there joking about something on television, watching sports together, talking about gossip. It's not real. The connection is just your mind, you perceiving it and saying, I like this feels good, this is aligning, we are vibing. I feel we are vibing. Here's how you know that connection is just a perception and it's not a real magical thing. Think about the times when you thought you were vibing with someone, you thought you were in love with someone and they were in love with you, you thought they cared for you, and then you found out they really don't. That's real, right? So reality, were you connected? You thought you were, but the connection wasn't real. Likewise, there's been times that you were people-pleasing other people, being nice to them, being kind to them, and acting like you liked being around them. You hated them. You resented them. They were annoying to you. You couldn't wait to get away from them. Meanwhile, they keep coming back like, hey, 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 looking for more connection. And you're like, we're not connected. You understand? Why? Connection is an illusion. So let's update our thoughts from the dumb or the detrimental thoughts to the new, more sophisticated way of thinking. Connection is an illusion. More so, it's a perception of the mind. This is how I'm perceiving it. So you can solve your feeling of not being connected even when you're just alone in your house. You can go into a meditative state like this and picture yourself connecting with people through the quantum field. Literally, I'm not joking. You picture yourself connecting with people in the quantum realm. Someone way over on the other side of the world, the people in your apartment building, the people in your neighborhood. You feel that sense of connection, and it will fill that feeling that you need to feel connected to someone, because you don't need someone right here. There's nothing magical about having a person right here, right on top of you, literally or physically. It's not magic. It's just, it aligns with your values. That makes you feel good. If it's not the person you want, then it doesn't align. You don't feel good. The other side of this issue is we need to get rid of fear. So don't feel fear over having relationships or getting into a relationship, like you're going to lose control or you can't trust people. Your boundaries will keep you safe. Be bold, be brave, be yourself, be authentic in relationships. And some will work, some will not. Abandonment is not a bad thing. Conflict is not a bad thing. Embrace those things as a part of the journey, and you'll actually be able to open yourself up again to have relationships. Understand that you don't need to worry about trust because your boundaries will keep you safe. And you can trust that most relationships are not going to work out long term. And with those expectations, it's harder to be disappointed. So get out there, have fun, have connection, but also realize it's all a perception.